to my channel and to my fuss-free Christmas, where this year I'm sharing lots of recipes to help you get ahead for Christmas Day to make cooking on the big day itself an absolute doddle. So today's recipe is all about roast potatoes. Now, it's not that difficult to make roast potatoes. It's really quite simple, but the difficulty comes in all the prep. It's the peeling, it's the chopping, it's all that preparation beforehand, especially when you're cooking for a big crowd of people. It can take quite some time. So using my Get Ahead Roasty recipe, I'm going to show you how you can do all of that preparation ahead of time, get the potatoes in the freezer, and then on Christmas Day, all you need to do is whack them in the oven. So for this recipe, I am using Mara's Piper potatoes because I just think they're the best for roasties. I generally allow about 250 grams per person, so that kind of counts for some people having more, some people a bit less, some kids, some adults. So try about 250 grams per person and it should be spot on. So we're going to take our potatoes and peel them, and then we're going to chop them into 2, maybe into 3, depending on how big those potatoes are. Just make sure that those sizes are roughly around the same size so that they cook evenly. Once they're all peeled and chopped, add them to a saucepan, cover with boiling water, bring that to the boil, and then we're going to simmer them for 7 minutes. Drain the potatoes, leave them in the colander, and we're going to let them cool, let that steam rise off it. We're then going to take the colander and give it a good shake, bash those potatoes about, because what that's going to do is create kind of a fluffiness around the edges that gives extra crispiness in the oven. Transfer the potatoes onto a tray or plate of some sort, just make sure it fits in the freezer, because we're going to pop them in for a couple of hours just to get a little bit frozen around the outside. We're then going to pop them into freezer bags, and that just stops them sticking together in the freezer. Then on Christmas Day we can cook our roasties direct from frozen. All you need to do is to heat up some oil, so some olive oil, some goose fat, whatever you like to use. Heat it up really hot in the tray in the oven, and then put the roast potatoes, the frozen roast potatoes, straight into that tray. Toss the potatoes round in that oil just to make sure they're fully coated. We're then going to pop them in the oven, 180 Celsius for 30 minutes, after which I turn the oven up to 200 Celsius for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how big your roasties are. During cooking, you can drizzle a bit more oil over the top of the roast potatoes, but my top tip is not to touch them. Don't move them in the tray, because this will stop them from sticking. Then once they're done, they're ready to serve straight away, and you have delicious, crispy on the outside roast potatoes, fluffy in the middle, absolute perfection. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. Be sure to check out my playlist of all my Get Ahead Christmas recipes here, and I'll see you next time.